And my actual eyesight. And my actual eyesight is there. The high drive. Deep center. Go. 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 We're out of here. We're out of here. Say ya, playa.
Just like they drew it up in Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons! And this is it for good! The Audubon Green Wave are back in the Final Four! A gold pile on their side!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DW Broadcasting's coverage of men's varsity.
From our entire crew, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, folks. And the Pioneers have taken the field here in this Tri-County Royal matchup. Andrew Prawn, the sophomore right-hander, getting his first start of 2024 at a small sample size as a freshman. 58 pitches thrown in 2 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 walks, and 3 strikeouts in a small sample size, as we said. But he's going to look to lock it down in what will be his first career varsity start. He pitched in May versus Cumberland last year in an 11-1 fall for Clearview. But today, he's going to be on the hill in inning number 1 for the first time. Let's take a look at that GCIT lineup brought to you by Tommy D's Home Improvement. It's going to be a star-studded show for Rob Eppolite and the Cheetahs. It's going to be Ben Sumek at the shortstop spot, batting leadoff. Andrew Valet is the pitcher, batting second. Willie Popoff is the catcher, related to Tommy Popoff of Kingsway. He bats third. Phil Murphy is at third base batting cleanup. Brenton Heil is the first baseman batting fifth. Brian Lowry is the left fielder batting sixth. Danny Sheets in second base batting seventh. Nick Miller in right batting eighth. And Vinny Rosas is the first baseman batting ninth. Andrew Prawn getting set here for the leadoff man for GCIT. Ben Sumek, the shortstop, as we're about to get underway here in each of these teams' third game of the year. Prawn in the green and gold delivers the first pitch, strike, 0-1. Ben Sumek, the junior utilityman, with a .278 career average as he fouls that one into the bog, 0-2. Already off to a hot start this year with 6 RBIs in that 19-1 win for GCIT over Pennsville. Had 3 doubles in that opening day game for the Cheetahs. Here's the 0-2. Outside on a breaking ball, 1-2. Went 15 for 58 last year. All singles, 13 walks and 9 stolen bases for a .259 mark and a .319 career slugging percentage. Up high. After a week of freezing cold and unbearable weather, we have finally gotten some closure for some good weather here in this week. 78 degrees at first pitch as that one's up and in. Not a lot of wind, but the sun has been out all day as it was yesterday. And the 2-2. Fouled back by Sumek again. As we said, first 3 for GCIT is Ben Sumek, Andrew Valet, and Willie Popoff. The brother of Kingsway starting catcher that we covered over the weekend, Tommy Popoff. Another great underclassman player behind the dish. That is strike 3. He thought he got it, but he did not. And that's the first strikeout for Andrew Prawn, 1 away. And here is Valet now. Valet takes a first pitch strike, 0-1. 19 for 73 in his freshman year with 3 extra base hits and 5 walks, a .301 slugging percentage, and a .260 batting average. Here's the pitch. High chopper out towards second base, picked up. Throw to first is in time. And now here is GCIT's number 3. That being Willie Popoff. 2 very young teams playing each other this afternoon. You know, you think of the Tri-County Royal Division and you think of one of the most dominant and star-studded divisions in all of South Jersey. You've got your Gloucester Catholic, you've got your Kingsway, but don't forget about Clearview and GCIT. And don't forget about the run that GCIT had last year. You know, the run that they had in May of last year where they beat Gloucester Catholic, they beat Kingsway. They beat a lot of powerhouses just in a row. They seem to just have a giant spark at the end of the year. They went 14-10. You know, there were some years where they were barely cracking, 5 or 6 wins in a season.
And now they seem to be back in the mix as one of the better teams in that stacked division. You know, you've got Clearview, you've got Williamstown. They're all big schools down there, and that's what makes the Tri-County Conference so interesting, is that the teams in the different divisions, you know, kind of are separated by school size, and that makes it different. You know, in the Colonial, you've got some schools that are Group 2 and bordering Group 3, but in Tri-County, it's a lot more separated. That's a base hit in the center field by Valet. He gets aboard for a one-out single, and that gives GCIT's offense some late life, my apologies, a two-out single by Willie Popoff. Here's Phil Murphy. No relation to the man in Trenton as far as we're concerned. No relation to the governor. But the third baseman takes a bat for the first time this afternoon. Up and in. Oof, close call there. One-0. Takes a strike right down the pipe. 1-1. So for the cleanup man, Murphy, the junior third baseman, this is only his 5th career high school at bat. Went 1 for 2 in 2023, and this year 2 for 4 on the young campaign. Like we said, GCIT has only played 1 game, a 19-1 win versus Pennsville. Fly ball out to straightaway left, and it's taken in, side retired. Clearview gets 1 runner to strand and 4 men to come to the plate. We'll start off the bottom of the first with the Pioneers knotted up at 0-0. We'll be right back. In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
All right, bottom of the first, GCIT went down with just a 2-out single, and that was all. Let's take a look at your Clearview starting lineup, brought to you by Tommy D's Home Improvement. You've gotten your number 1, 2, and 3, Matt DeSimone, and left field batting leadoff. Tyler Dell is the shortstop batting second. Chris Wolf is the DH batting third. Braden Reeder is the right fielder batting cleanup. Dom Abate is the second baseman batting fifth. Ryan Batista, the center fielder, batting sixth. That'll be followed up by 7, 8, and 9. Pat Jurgen, Alex Musenberger, and Connor Zwan, with Andrew Prawn on the hill for Clearview. As we said, your starter for GCIT is the sophomore Andrew Valet. Off to a great start so far, as we said, at a .260 average in his freshman year, and he has absolutely been great on the hill as well, pumping upper 80s for the Cheetahs. as the lefty DeSimone gets his first at-bat against Valet here in the bottom of the first. First pitch. Fastball at the letters, 0-1. We covered Clearview back in late March in their first scrimmage of the year versus Audubon here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, and that was a game that Clearview impressed mightily and won 9-3. And you can boil that down to, senior trip and, first scrimmage of the year. Preseason scores don't really amount to if you were to play that game in April or May, but still an interesting anecdote. DeSimone gets jammed, but hooks it down the left field line. It's taken in and left. And there's one away. So here is Tyler Dell. Went 3 for 3 with 2 doubles the last time we covered him. He earned our Harper Driving School Player of the Game. And now he steps in here versus the hard-throwing Valet. Right-hander kicks and delivers. Fastball just touches the zone, 0-1. For the rest of this week here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, tomorrow is our DWB fan vote game, and you guys on our Instagram voted for Haddon Township and Haddonfield. That'll be a 4 o'clock start for our Colonial Tilt of the week, followed up by another Colonial Tilt on Thursday, April 11th, between the Haddon Heights Garnets and the Audubon Green Wave. Friday the 12th will be a JUCO matchup down at Camden County College in Blackwood between Ocean County and Camden County, the Vikings and the Cougars. Saturday was originally supposed to be a doubleheader, but with the Gloucester Catholic game getting moved, it is now just a one-off event, Lenape and Cherokee, for an Olympic Conference game at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Sunday the 14th will be a doubleheader in JUCO softball between Cecil College and Salem Community College, which are up to winning 18 of their last 20. Strike 3 called on a breaking ball, and Valet has his first strikeout, 2 down. Here's Chris Wolf. If the inning were to continue after Wolf, Braden Reeder would be next for the Pioneers. First pitch, fouled back. So yeah, we were talking with Coach Core before the game about, because we posted on our Instagram on the game day post as to the park being called the Bog, and I didn't really understand it. I texted the coach. I'm like, why are we calling it this? But if you look behind home plate, we'll get a better shot in between innings. But there is somewhat of a ditch back there that, with the pine trees behind the plate, whenever it rains, it just becomes a swamp, and that's exactly what it is. Now, the last time it rained, if I recall, was Thursday. So it's been a full 5 days since it last rained, but that water was still deep. So it's quite interesting. I mean, this is one of the more unique ballparks in South Jersey, just because of its charm and the fact that you've got this 2-tiered wall in center field. We're about maybe 15 feet up above a brick wall in left center field. I mean, this is one of the best camera angles I've ever had for a game. There's a strike on the outside corner. And it's 2-2. Again, Reeder on deck, but a Valet trying to make sure he doesn't get there, looking for a 1-2-3 first inning here in Clearview. 2-strike pitch. Gets a piece of it, a tough swing, and it's foul. That's one of those pitches where that could be difficult to get contact on, but if you know how to turn that around, that could easily be a double down the right field line or something like that. He just didn't get all of it. And that's what matters. Just got to make contact in the right places and, bear the fruit of your labors. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away, and no traffic on the bases as the sophomore Valet delivers. And a swing and a miss. Valet gets 2 strikeouts and a weak fly ball to left. He takes care of the first 3 for the home Pioneers with ease. We go to the second, no score here in Mullica Hill. Top of the second here at Clearview Regional. First pitch. Misses. 4 men came to the plate in the first for GCIT. It'll now be Brenton Heil, Brian Lowry, and Danny Sheets. One and two. Oh, 2-1, my bad. Up high. Swing, a miss. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the number 5 hitter, Brenton Heil. The senior, who swings and misses. Strikeout number 2 for Prawn. And there's 1 down. As we said, both of these teams are incredibly young. GCIT only has, for a large school as they are, only 5 rostered seniors. And in fact, only 2 of them are in the starting lineup. Brian Lowry, or I'm sorry, they have, oh, there's a bobble at third, and that'll be a base hit for GCIT. Bit of a miscue down at third, and Lowry gets aboard for Danny Sheets. So only 3 GCIT seniors in the starting lineup. Danny Sheets, Brenton Heil, and Brian Lowry, who just got on first base, and Sheets is one of the other seniors. But the core of the team, like Sumek, Valet, and Popoff, are all still underclassmen. So they still have several years left to work with at the core, which is why last year's run was so impressive, as a sacrifice bunt by Sheets moves Lowry down to second base. There's 2 down. And here is Nick Miller. The catcher, Musenberger and Prawn, now going out to meet here. And he'll face the right fielder, Nick Miller. First pitch, Lowry trailing off at second base. First time tonight a runner's gotten in scoring position for either team. And this could very well be, if Prawn can turn around his performance from last year, and if he can throw a couple solid innings, and Valet is going to throw a bunch of solid innings as well, it might be a situation of a pitcher's duel. Popped up and way foul. This is one of those things about the rural-ish fields where you are going to have plenty of JV players chasing those foul balls. And some of them you might have to get a pontoon boat for down behind the plate, or they might just be a lost cause. Prawn with a runner in scoring position. The pitch is up and in. Two and one. Yeah, they have a scoreboard right behind us, right over our head, but it's not on, so that kind of puts me in a bind. Foul back, and speaking of the bog, that one's into the bog. I mean, like we said, it last rained on Thursday, and even then it wasn't that bad. The last continuous rain we had was Tuesday and Wednesday, so it's almost been a full week, and yet that pond is still quite deep. 2-strike count for Prawn to the number 8 hitter, Nick Miller. Runner goes. Here comes the throw down to third. It is not in time. He just got in there. A good pop time from behind the plate from Munzenberger, but it just wasn't meant to be. He did get the strikeout, though. So there's 2 down. Here is GCIT's number 9 hitter, who sends a ground ball out to short. Dell is there. Throw across. Oh, the ball gets away. Thought he had it on the scoop, but no. It'll be a botched play at short, and it's going to be a 1-0 GCIT lead on the error. Situation for everybody right there. You're trying to get out of the jam. You had 2 outs, and especially with it being the bottom of the order, that's the guy that you need to get out first and foremost. But now you put yourself in a bit of a bind here. You bring the top of the order back up, and now that they've seen Prawn the first time, they know how to hit him, and we'll see how they hit him, if at all. That one's outside, 1-0. Swing and a miss. That one misses. So Rosas now. So this is the guy that you need to get out right here. Number 9 hitter, and if you don't get him out, then you got to deal with Sumek and Valet all over again, and you just don't want to deal with that. 2 outs, and the pitch from Prawn misses low. Beautiful Tuesday afternoon. It might just be a little hot because we're not used to this weather. I'm sure if we had this same 75-degree day in May, we'd be loving it. But because it's April and it feels still a little foreign to us after last week was just so bitter cold, that, and rainy too, that a nice sunny day, you know, people frolicking in the grass in the outfield, you know, kids having a good time. We're not used to it yet. Floater out towards right, somebody called for it, and he'll make the catch, side retired. GCIT gets a run on an E6 in the Clearview infield, but they've got a chance to fight back with their 4, 5, and 6, 1.5 through here in Clearview.
Tommy D's Home Design Center has opened a second location on Creek Road in Belmar, operating in Philadelphia for over 25 years and now expanding into South Jersey. Tommy D's is the place to go for kitchen cabinets, countertops, and cabinet accessories, heavily discounted compared to big box retailers. Stop in, take a seat, and watch as our experienced kitchen designer makes the kitchen of your dreams right in front of you. Tommy D's is the best in the business for quality kitchen countertops and cabinets that fit all budgets. Call us today at 856-210-9504 or visit the new location in person on the corner of Creek Road and Harding Avenue in Belmar next to the 42 on-ramp. Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
Cecil College and Salem Community College softball. Pitch down. Delivered. Fouled back into the bog.
I don't know.
You just got to feel for all those JV players that have to go out there and pick up those poor baseballs. Like I said, they should have a Pioneer pontoon boat out there and get yourself some advertising on the pontoon boat. But even Coach Port said, if you think that's bad, think about
when it just rains, the water goes all the way up to the back of the backstop, which is kind of why this field is the way it is. Fly ball to deep right field. That has a chance to get down, and it will. Goes over the head of the right fielder. Sumek around third. He will score. Valet pumps the brakes at second. And not only does he have 4 strikeouts on the hill, he's got an RBI double. It's 2-1. So Ben Sumek scores on the RBI double by the number 2 man, Andrew Valet. GCIT retakes the lead. It's 2-1. Infield's going to have a talk here. So a single and a double put GCIT in business and put them back in here in the third, here from Clearview Regional High School. But what we were talking about, I was on the phone with a good friend of mine, Chris Baker, a reporter for D2 Sports Network earlier, and when we were on the way here, he said, well, there's a hill in the outfield, but it's cut out. And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? And I now realize what he's talking about with the 2-tiered system. There is a temporary fence in the outfield, but with about a 6-foot separation between that and a brick wall in the outfield. That's what makes it a little interesting. You could see there's the temporary fence, and there is the permanent fence, the brick wall. So it's a little funky, but everything's cut out here, and it looks very professional. Looks, almost like a college baseball field. The dimensions are pretty hitter-friendly, 315 down the lines and with a max of 365 for the deepest part of the park center. But there's no, odd walls. There's no odd caroms. It's your straight-up temporary fence. And I would guess the reason that they do it is because they would need to add padding to that outfield wall. You can't really have a brick wall in the outfield. That's not a good idea for concussions. But hey, a lot of minor league parks had wooden fences painted on advertising in the 70s and 80s. Before that, padding on the outfield walls wasn't really a concern until probably around 20, 30 years ago. That one is down. 3-1. The number 3 hitter for GCIT, Popoff. GCIT takes a 2-1 lead here in the third, thanks to an RBI double by the sophomore Andrew Valet. Here's the pitch. There's another one. 3-2. That's the letter. Cleanup man and third baseman Phil Murphy on deck, but still nobody out. GCIT looking to pour on a couple more runs off of Prawn. As far as I can tell, no action in the Clearview bullpen yet. And that hit the knob of the bat, but it's a fair ball. Prawn picks it up, throw to first is in time. A smart play to recognize that and pick it up. There's one down. That looked like that either hit the knob of the bat or by the way it was hit could have also been right off the handle, just off of his hand. Because if it hits the hands and not the bat, that would be probably a swing and miss because he went around. But because, there was no hiding it. You could hear the bat. So either hit the knob or right around the handle. Either way, that's going to hurt. No matter what weather it is. Hopped up. Valet is probably going to tag from third here. He's got it. Throw to the plate is going to be cut off, and that is a sacrifice fly for Phil Murphy. And it's 3-1 GCIT. Oh, there's a pop-up behind the plate. Munzenberger goes for it against the fence. Oh, and he dropped it. No, he did hang on to it. He made the basket catch after the bobble, and the side is retired. What a play by Munzenberger. We go to the bottom of the third. After this RBI double by Andrew Valet and a sacrifice fly afterwards. It's 3-1. Fly ball to deep right field. That has a chance to get down, and it will.
goes over the head of the right fielder. Sumek around third. He will score. Valet pumps the brakes at second. And not only does he have 4 strikeouts on the hill, this isn't it.
GCIT takes a 2-run lead over Clearview here in the bottom of the third. After an eventful top half, they got everything early. They got a single and then an RBI double and then a sacrifice fly, and that was really it. So they only brought 5 men to the plate but scored 2. Rounding out the order for Clearview is Connor Zwan. There's a strike. 0-1. Valet with 4 strikeouts through 2 innings, plus an RBI at the plate. Hot shot by Zwan, and a nice snag at third by Murphy. Throw overs in time. Good way to play in there, and there's one away. As we turn the lineup over, back to the top. That's a tough play to make, you know. We talk about the hot corner, only being 90 feet away, and you've got to spear some really fierce line drives. Well, that's even more so because he was playing right on the edge of the dirt, expecting a bunt from Zwan. And in fact, he's still playing fairly far in. As you can see there, he is he's backing up now, but he's basically playing in the grass, which is a good way to face this lefty-heavy lineup. Ooh, trails inside. 1-1.
2-0, my bad.
But here is DeSimone. High and away. 3-0. Right down the pipe. 3-1. There's strike 2. And that one misses high. He was eager for that one. He was ahead in the count 3-0 and then took 2 strikes back to back. He just did not want to be denied a free base. Here's Tyler Dell. Dell struck out looking his first time. Strike 1. Whew. That was a little close on the corner, but now Popoff and Valet will talk this one over. Tyler Dell, the 6-foot junior. 297 career average for the Pioneers. Had 2 home runs in his freshman year, didn't have any last year and hasn't had any this year. But career 33 for 111. 10 career extra base hits, including 7 doubles and a triple. And again, that lone triple came in his freshman year. So a 373 average as a freshman. Those numbers kind of dipped last year, but he's looking to get back into it. Here's a fly ball out towards right. Backtracking is Miller. He'll make the catch. And there's 2 away. Here's the number 3 man in the order for Clearview, Chris Wolf. I mean, Valet's been really efficient tonight, and I think that's what's made this game favorable for GCIT is that they've been off to a good start, and if Valet can keep Clearview down on the hill, then that can really swing your offense in a positive momentum going forward. Look, you put up 1 run in the second, now you've put up 2 in the third. What does that mean for the fourth, You've got the middle of the order coming up. Here comes the throw down on a couple hops. He is safe. Looks like the throw got trapped at second base. And now, after the stolen base by DeSimone, that brings a runner in scoring position here with 2 down. With Braden Reeder on deck. Here's the pitch from Vallejo. Steps off. He was ready to go. He had a fierce leg kick ready from the stretch. But he does not follow through. Here we go. That's in the dirt, trapped by Popoff. One of the most crucial mistakes I see from underclassmen catchers is, trapping that wild pitch. Because the last thing you want is you already gave up a stolen base. That's going to mess with your head a little bit because you're going to say to yourself, well, why didn't I get him out? And then if you give up a wild pitch, that just messes with the mind games even more. And look, baseball, as we know it from day one, is a mind game. That's a foul ball. You can be, look at Bartolo Colon. You can be 5'9", 300 pounds, and you can still play 20 years in Major League Baseball. You don't have to be superhuman to play, but you have to be superhuman in terms of your mental fitness to be a good ball player. And that's something that a lot of people overlook, is that the mind part of the game is almost outweighing the physical part. High and outside. Valet having a bit of control issues here, but trying to lock in. Count is full. 2 outs and a runner on second. Clearview looking to chip away at this deficit and looking to cut it in half to make it 3-2. Speaking of, here is the 3-2. And that is ball 4, just missed. That was close. And obviously Valet not happy with himself there. That was close. That was as close as you can get. I think that would be about a 50-50. Some umpires would call that, some wouldn't. You could really go either way with it. So now with 2 runners on, the infield will meet, and Rob Eppolite will come out here to talk to his man Valet. GCIT up by 2. They'll have 6, 7, and 8 due up in the bottom of the, in the top of the 4th. Lowry, Sheets, and Miller, the right fielder. But this is going to be one of the toughest waters that you have to ford through. You're facing with 2 runners on. The tying run is at first base, and you're going right through the middle of the order. So you've got to just sword hard, and you've got to, fight through. But here is Reeder. He popped out to the second baseman his first time. Cleanup man here for Clearview with 2 on and 2 out. That one misses high. 1-0. Clearview's just got to have a patient bat here. You just have to think short term. You know, don't swing at anything unless it's absolutely necessary. There's a strike on the inside corner. Another close call there. Here we go again. Ground ball out to second base. It is trapped at first. Now he gets the throw, and he got him. Big play down at first to retire the side, and GCIT gets out with just a couple scuffs. They leave 2 on, but they do not allow a single run on the board. It's 3-1 after the nice play by Brenton Heil. We go to the 4th.
Going to start off with trivia time. I'm filling in for Dan real quick as he's on his way back. The question is, what MLB team is the only one to have 0 World Series appearances? A, the Padres, B, Angels, C, Mariners, and D, Nationals. The answer will be revealed in the bottom of the 4th inning. Now back to Dan Wilkins.
Thank you, Vince. Took care of me in a pinch. So here's Lowry.
Open.
All right, so Lowry gets on first base. And here's Danny Sheets. One-0 the count to Sheets. One of the 3 seniors in GCIT's lineup as that throw just misses. And a stolen base for Lowry. And Lowry might have gotten shaken up over at second. Looked like just an awkward landing. takes a couple steps off, and the third base coach, McCory, meets with him to talk it over, just to make sure that he's okay. I think that's one of those situations where you just very briefly get the wind knocked out of you. It does not help. But a stolen base and a 1-1 count for Cheetahs. Andrew Prawn still out there for his 4th inning of work. And the pitch. Outside. Popped up. Shallow right center. Oh, going for it, and the ball drops. Getting to third. The throw not in time. And an E9, an unfortunate miscue in right field. 2 people called for it, and 0 came up with the baseball. That's just the kind of plays that you cannot make in a close game like this. That'll be an error, the 3rd for Clearview tonight. They had 2 in the 2nd inning, both in the infield. And now the outfield gets a part of the fun too. So that puts 2 runners on and nobody out. And now that runner at first is not going to be accounted for in Prawn's ERA. Miller. But they've been in this situation before. You know, they had 2 runners on and they had nobody out, and they gave up those 2 runs, but they didn't give up anything more. They did not let the inning spiral out of control. They threw it back to third, and they just allow Cheats to get in uncontested.
Who's on 13?
Here's the pitch to the right fielder, Miller. That one is down. Two balls, 1 strike. 2 runners in scoring position for GCIT. Outside, 3-1. You gotta imagine Coach Core is gonna try to get somebody ready. You know, you're already down by 2, and you know this team is gonna be hard to come back against. As long as Valet is in the game, he's gonna be a tough fight to get even runners on base. But he walks him, and the bases are loaded. Yeesh. And again, none of this is Prawn's fault. He had a walk to start off the inning and should have had the early out, and then it just ended up being something that went awry. An error in right field by Clearview, and that ends up, you know, it throws a wrench into your whole game plan. And now you've got bases loaded, nobody out. If there's any silver lining, you're facing the bottom of the order. But Prawn will stay in the game, and maybe Core will get somebody in their bullpen ready. And you know, look, you got the middle of the order coming up for Clearview. And you know GCIT is a deep roster with how big their program is. You just have to consider how many people are, you know, waiting in the wings to pitch in relief of Valet. Here's the delivery from Prawn, that's down. One and one. To the 9-hitter Rosas. And the center fielder takes a foul ball, and it's 1-2. But Clearview is going to be kind of having their backs against the wall here with the leadoff man, Sumek, who singled off of Prawn earlier. starting to pick up a little bit, and that's going to be a base hit. It gets through the infield, which was playing in. They move everybody up 90 feet, and that's an RBI single for Sumac, 4-1. That's a matter of where just a couple feet could be a double play and a base hit. Nick Core coming out, and Andrew Prawn's day is not done yet, it appears. And actually, it does look like that they're going to take him off the mound and they're going to put somebody else up there. So, just a lot of changes in the infield. We're playing like musical chairs out here. They're going to move some guys to the outfield. They're going to move some guys back to the infield. Are they putting Prawn in the outfield is my question. I'm not sure, but looks like they're making a whole bunch of changes, and we'll go to break as it looks like Clearview's going to make a pitching change. So Prawn is out in the fourth, 4-1 GCIT. We'll be right back. New pitcher for Clearview. That is number 6, Pat Jurgen. He moved from first base to the mound, and actually a lot of changes being made for Clearview as we move into the middle of the fourth inning here, with GCIT putting all 4 runners that they have brought up to the plate on base with a walk in E9, another walk to Nick Miller, and an RBI single at the bottom of the order by Vinny Rosas. So now we turn it over back to the top for Sumac. He's 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a single to this point so far. Jurgen kicks and delivers. That one's down. So Rosas on first, Miller down on second base, and Sheets on third. As Clearview looks to hang into this one and avoid any more trouble. There's a swing and a miss. With number 2 hitter Valet, the pitcher, who has thrown 3 strong so far, up next. Curveball skips in. There's a strike. 1 and 2. So GCIT now in their third rotation of the order here in the fourth. They've got the bases loaded and a chance to make it big. Fly ball foul, still 2 strikes on him. Don't forget, tomorrow is your DWB fan vote game between Haddon Township and Haddonfield in a Colonial Conference matchup. 4 o'clock is the start. Whoa, that one misses way inside. 2-2. But a beautiful Tuesday afternoon for some baseball. We took off yesterday, and after a 7-game weekend, we had 3 on Friday and 2 games each on Saturday and Sunday in the Ralph Shaw tournament. Feels good to be back on the air after a day of rest. That one misses in, and that is a bases-loaded walk to Sumac, and it's 5-1. So GCIT has brought 5 men to the plate and have put all of them on base. Scoring now is Danny Sheets. And now here is Filet. 4 strikeouts in 3 innings for him. Only 1 run allowed on that RBI triple off of this very pitcher, Pat Jurgen. And he's going to try to rip into this lead more. He had an RBI double in the top of the 3rd. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. I mean, if you can drill that inside fastball, you can get a lot of hitters to swing and miss. It's no secret. And, you know, I mean, these hitters, they like to push the ball. They're not really big on pulling it. They've really been hitting just all around all day. Jurgen seems to take my message a little too far. That one's inside, 1-1. But here and there, if you can get like a 2-seam fastball to run in on the hands, that can really be a gold mine for you. If you know how to execute those pitches well, if they can have a lot of horizontal run. That one taps off of the bat. They throw it to the plate, and he got him. A nice play over at first. And that's out number 1. So Valet is retired on a fielder's choice. That one barely looked like it hit the bat. We weren't sure if it was a hit by pitch or if it was just a swing. But the new first baseman taking over for Jurgen, that being, looks like hold on. Looks like Noah Sari. That might be it. I'm not sure here. It's like number 13. Oh, you know what? I see what they did. So I realized what they did in the infield. So they moved Reeder from right field to first base, who made that nice play, and they put the pitcher Andrew Cron in right field. So not a bad move, and it seems to have paid dividends as the fielder's choice puts Filet on base, but retires Miller at the plate. So Rosas now on second, or rather now on third. Sumac is over at second base. But a 5-1 game for GCIT as Popoff takes a strike. I mean, both of these teams are relatively young. You know, you've got a lot of sophomore and junior talent, even some freshman talent, on both teams. I mean, you know, look, they've already rolled out Tyler Ahrens a couple of times in their opening week in their first few scrimmages. Here we go. Here's the pitch from Jurgen. Swing. 2 strikeout. By the way, a quick out of town scoreboard update. Shawnee leads Cherokee 2-1 in the 4th inning after a solo home run by Cameron Radimer. Fouled back. St. Augustine leads Millville 3-1 in the third inning. Woodstown leads Clayton 6-1, and that is ball 4. So that will be another bases loaded walk. Popoff drives in a run, and now Nick Core coming out again, and GCIT extends their lead to 5. So Rosas is the one who scored on that one. I mean, it would be really almost odd to put a third pitcher in for this inning, you know, but you've got one out, and that one out was decided by a matter of feet. So it's a tough play call to make. You know, you put in one of your relievers, and it's not an easy play, and it's not an easy coaching decision for anybody. This one's a line drive out to center field. It's caught in center. A nice play, but a sacrifice fly for the Cheetahs. Bring in another run. And it is 7-1 GCIT. So scoring is Sumek on that play. Valet, or actually I apologize. That puts runners on first and second, so they hold everybody up there. So the pinch runner for Valet, that's number 5, Michael White. He's on second base. Popoff is on first. Now facing, after the sac fly by Phil Murphy, here is Heil. Ground ball out to third, and it looks like they're going to take care of it. And a little shove over there at third base, an aggressive tag, but the side is retired and no further issues on the bases. GCIT puts up a whole bunch. It's 7-1 going to the bottom of the 4th. We'll be right back. In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
GCIT brought 9 men to the plate in the 4th. We'll now bring it up for the middle of the order for Clearview, as it's time for your DWB Trivia Time answer. Today's question was, who is the only Major League Baseball team to never make a World Series appearance? Was it A, the San Diego Padres, B, the Los Angeles Angels, C, the Seattle Mariners, or D, the Washington Nationals? That one misses high. Vince, you got a guess for me? Well, you thought about the Mariners a little too long. Yes, it is the Seattle Mariners. They are the only team to never make a World Series appearance. San Diego Padres, they made their lone appearance in 1984 before losing to the Detroit Tigers. There were a couple years where they very well could have made the World Series, like 2022, or even you could argue 2006 was the year they could have made it, as probably maybe the worst playoff team ever. They were only a couple games above 500 and made the playoffs by virtue of the last wild card. But Washington was one of two teams that ever make the World Series until 2019. They did not make it in either form as the Expos or the Nationals. But then they broke that streak in 2019 and actually won the World Series, beating the Houston Astros. Fly ball hit well, but straightaway center. Rosas calls for it, and he makes the catch, one away. So the freshman Dom Abate flies out to center field, and another lefty, Ryan Batista. Batista, the lefty, was hit by a pitch and came around to score. Almost got hit again, but it's inside, 1-0. Those would be some sore ribs after a couple of hit by pitches right in the midsection. 1-0. Fastball misses down, 2-0. But when you're down in this situation, what Clearview's just got to do is they've got to just lock down and only swing at what's necessary. You know, that's something that I've praised all night. But if you can get ahead in the count 3-0 like this, and if you can do it on multiple occasions, you know, like that's just something that is a skill that not every team has. That one is high, gets away. He's sprinting down to first. He took a big step around first, almost like he was going to try to advance after the walk. But it is a 4-pitch free pass to Batista. Here's Pat Jurgen. I wouldn't call the Seattle Mariners new by any mark, but they actually had two different teams at two different times. If you remember the history of the Seattle Pilots, they were a one-year club back in 1969. They survived only one season playing a 5,000-seat minor league, basically abandoned ballpark. They didn't even scrape like 60 wins or something like that. They were just a god-awful team. And they were mostly comprised of MLB players that were well past their prime, like the famous Yankee in the 60s, Frank Howard. He was a Seattle Pilot, and they folded 1 year into their existence and became the Milwaukee Brewers in 1970. And do you know who is the owner of the Seattle Pilots? This might be a future trivia time question, but the owner of the Seattle Pilots who decided to relocate the team to Milwaukee was Bud Selig, who was the Major League Baseball commissioner in the 90s and 2000s, up until 2014 when Rob Manfred took over. Here's the pitch. High tapper, bounces off of Vallet's glove. It's going to be a dead ball at third, and they hold the throw. That's going to be an infield single. And they made sure they covered the bag at third. That was a close call there because GCIT realized kind of in a scrambled panic, oh, we got to cover that bag. But an infield base hit puts two runners on for the Pioneers. Pat Jurgen with an infield single brings up the number 8 hitter Munzenberger. That one is high and in. This is where you have to start thinking long term for GCIT, is that, you know, how long is Valet going to be able to stay in the game at his current efficiency? He's got 2 runners on, nobody out. This is a big opportunity for Clearview to make a statement and start chipping away at that lead. There's a fly ball, hit well, but straight away center. Rosas calls for it, and he makes the catch, and everybody holds. 1 away, or 2 down, sorry. So 2 flyouts to center, and now Clearview needs to make a statement here in the bottom of the order. This is where, I mean, this is what can make or break the ball game. That's what we have to realize here, is that, you know, GCIT has been on a roll. They put up 4 in the 4th. It's the best thing you can do, you know, try to line one into the gap, get a single down. That one's 1-0. You don't need home runs, you just need base hits. They've already gotten 1 in this frame. They got a walk and a single, but then a fly out to center kind of disrupted their approach there. And if there was ever a better argument for an extra base hit, the wind's blowing out. I've already seen that Clearview can run. They've got some speedy guys on their crew. They just need to get 1 more base runner here. There's a strike. Should be 2-1. If the inning were to continue after it's 1, the lineup would turn over to the top for DeSimone. That one is in the dirt, trapped by Popoff, 3-1. But you walk to get the bases loaded, and you bring the top of the order back to the plate. Clearview's got to score. I mean, you know, they don't have that many outs at their arsenal. This is only a 7-inning game. You really don't have that much to work with, because if you get retired in the 4th, you're down to your last 9 lives, and you don't want to use them. You top of the order coming up. GCIT not making a move yet, but he will face the lefty, DeSimone. DeSimone flew out and walked in his first 2 appearances tonight. Valet delivers first pitch inside, 1-0. But if Clearview wants to stay in contention and avoid a potential, even a mercy rule, then you've got to start thinking in terms of getting him home now. Outside, 2-0. Warming up in the pen for GCIT is number 14, Alex Valet. So this could be a brother combination here. Valet, the sophomore right-hander, had a 1.75 ERA last year. Here's the pitch. Strike 1, 2-1. But Clearview with the top of the order up, bases loaded, 2 outs. You do not want to leave anybody on here. Bring them home. Ground ball right back to the mound, and talk about a sigh of relief for the Cheetahs. Bases loaded, and they get out of the jam with a liner right back to the mound. Clearview, just a disappointing frame for them. They leave the bases loaded, and it looks like Valet gets out of the jam. We go to the 5th, 7-1 GCIT. Tommy D's Home Design Center has opened a 2nd location on Creek Road in Belmar, operating in Philadelphia for over 25 years and now expanding into South Jersey. Tommy D's is the place to go for kitchen cabinets, countertops, and cabinet accessories, heavily discounted compared to big box retailers. Stop in, take a seat, and watch as our experienced kitchen designer makes the kitchen of your dreams right in front of you. Tommy D's is the best in the business for quality kitchen countertops and cabinets that fit all budgets. Call us today at 856-210-9504 or visit the new location in person on the corner of Creek Road and Harding Avenue in Belmar next to the 42 on-ramp.
Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
So one away on the fly out to left. So here's Reeder. He's the last in this lineup until you get all the way down to the 9 spot for Zwan. Check swing. He went.
I'm actually allowed it.
0-2.
I can't wait.
Valet kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss. He got him. 2 down. Well, you got the easy work out of the way. I mean, seriously, you know, we got, you know, your main concern was the righties, and now you got the lefties up, all in a row. And, you know, to just be blunt, I mean, Clearview's bench is not deep enough to really platoon every single man in this situation. I mean, you've got to keep a core guy like Damabate in. You've got to keep Batista. And you've got to keep Jurgen as well. There's another strike. So if you only have to face 2 righties, you got the hard part done. You got 1 walk and you got 1 strikeout. You took care of it. And a high chopper, that is a foul ball. Game started just a couple minutes before 4. We were a little ahead of schedule, so we're at 5:38 now. About an hour and 40 into this one. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Looks like he made a little contact, but a foul tip is a strikeout. Valet gets 2 strikeouts in a row and leaves the runner on. Clearview with possibly their biggest chance yet at getting the game back. Just couldn't hang on to it. 7-1 after 5. Beautiful ballpark here at Mullica Hill. And a beautiful angle out here in left center field. I'm Dan Wilkins here with our producer Vincent Focht. Good to have you guys with us here on this Tuesday afternoon. GCIT leads Clearview 7-1 as Sari is out for his 2nd inning. Clearview got a leadoff walk but did not advance any further in the 5th. There's another strike. So it'll be Andrew Valet, who is not on the hill anymore, but still gets to bat. A swing and a miss. He got him. 1 away. And here's Willie Popoff. I mean, if there's an argument for player of the game, I think that Andrew Valet has to be in that conversation. Just with the fact that he got that double to get the first run on the board for GCIT, and also threw, 4 very strong innings. 4 strikeouts, only allowed 1 earned run, and he set GCIT up for success. I mean, there's really not a lot of guys that stand out, you know. Clearview hasn't walked a lot of guys, but the big glaring note in the scorecard is 4 defensive errors. 2 in the second, and they also got 2 over in the fourth. Inside to pop off. Ooh, strike called. A little gift to the Pioneers, but that one's called. Swing and a miss. Wind blowing out this afternoon here at Mullica Hill, and a fly ball hit well out towards left. This one's got a chance going back. It is off of the left fielder, and it's going to drop before the wall. Getting the second with a 2-out double is going to be Willie Popoff. And GCIT gets another base hit here in the 6th. Sorry, 1-out double here. So here is Phil Murphy now. Popoff now 2 for 3, a single, a double, and a walk with a ground out in the middle. Just a tough play out there and left. Didn't really know where it was going to land, and the wind blowing out also doesn't help your case. So pinch running for Popoff at second base is going to be number 32. There's a strike. That is John Campbell. (7-1) Cheetahs over the Pioneers in the 6th. They've got a runner on second and a foul ball. 0-2. So we've got back-to-back Colonial matchups this week. Haddon Township and Haddonfield on Wednesday. Haddon Heights and Audubon on Thursday. Then we go to the JUCO scene in Blackwood for Ocean County and Camden County baseball. And on Saturday, Lenape and Cherokee. That'll be a fun one. Line drive, a nice scoop at third. Now they've got Campbell in a pickle. He tries to get around the tag, but he is out. And a nice heads-up play over at third to stop any further damage there. A heads-up play by Zwan. I mean, not only was that a heads-up play, I just don't think that was the right move for Campbell to try running like that when it wasn't necessary. He was the runner on second, the ball was hit to third. There's no need to challenge that at third. If you really need to, you wait until after the throw goes down to first and then you try to do it. But even then, to make a play like that and to pull that off, you've got to have some confidence in your wheels. And he just couldn't make it stick. So 2 down here for Brenton Heil. One's outside. Two balls, 1 strike. Clearview down by 6 here in the 6th. Trying to get back into this game. Here's the pitch. Low at the knees. The fan vote is up on our Instagram for Monday, April 15th. That'll be our second DWB fan vote game. Fouled back. Your options for that game, and right now leading the vote heavily with 54%, is PVI and Cherry Hill West. In second place with 25% is Woodstown and Haddon Heights. 17% is Seneca and Eastern, and with 4%, Westhampton Tech and Morristown Friends. Over 75 people in just a few hours have already voted for PVI and Cherry Hill West, as there is a foul ball with about 120% swing. And how about that? The ball landed in the bog, and there was a JV player out there already getting a baseball, and then he had another one fall right into his lap. Brenton Heil 0 for 3. A strikeout, a pop out, and a ground out in this game. With Lowry on deck, the pitch, fly ball deep out to left center field, but calling for it and making the catch in center to retire to side is the Pioneers. So they get out of it, and for the second inning in a row, Clearview holds GCIT to be empty-handed. We go to the bottom of the sixth, running out of time here at Mullica Hill, 7-1 GCIT. Welcome to the Bog here at Clearview Regional High School. We've got a good game so far, but GCIT in the middle innings took a big lead, and they have held that ever since. 7-1 as the lefty Valet still out for another frame. The first pitch inside. 1-0. Clearview will bat their 6, 7, and 8. All lefties, by the way, in the sixth. There's a strike, 1-1. Batista has reached base twice on a hit by pitch and a walk. And he takes another one. See, that's what makes a lefty like Valet so lethal, is that it's already pretty foreign for high school ball players to be in a lefty-lefty platoon situation. And to add insult to injury, he's throwing great strikes as well. You know, I think the stereotype with a lot of high school lefties is that they're more concerned about the velocity to make them stand out. But if you can drop a good curveball in to a lefty, or even a good like two-seam fastball or a changeup, you can force a bad situation. A pop-up and a nice play at second base. A nice one by Danny Sheets. One down. Danny Sheets with a circus catch over his head, and Clearview gets the first out against them. One away. Here's Pat Jurgen. He has been Clearview's X-Factor on the offensive side, 2 for 2, including a RBI triple in the second. Clearview's only run tonight. I'm mean, it's not that this has been a bad game by any means. It's just that, you know, GCIT has produced when it mattered, and, you know, Clearview just made some fundamental mistakes in the infield and the outfield. I mean, you know, look, as I said a couple innings ago, it's a matter of situational awareness. You know, the fact that they've had 4 errors and 2 of them by the same player in right field, it just kind of leaves a gap in that scorecard and a big question mark of what if. You know, could this have been a 7-3 game if they had scored with the bases loaded? Could it have been a 7-4 game, even 7-5? You know, we could be talking a very different situation based off of one swing. There's a strike. But don't take this as a blowout by any means. You know, GCIT has earned through thick and thin, through their grit, a good game. Swing and miss. The lefty Jurgen is retired for the first time tonight, and there's 2 away. So here's Munzenberger. Batting here for the Pioneers in the bottom of the 6th with nobody on and 2 out. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout to this point, and head coach Rob Eppolite coming out to talk to Valet. It looks like I saw somebody warming up in the bullpen for GCIT. I mean, there really is no bullpen here. There's just, I mean, there's grass down there. There's lots and lots of grass, I'll tell you that much. But Clearview with 1 run and just a handful of hits. They've actually been held to just 2 hits tonight. If I recall correctly, yeah, I'm looking at my scorecard now. They've had a couple walks, they've had a couple hit by pitches, but only 2 hits, and all of them have been from Pat Jurgen. So puts into perspective, you know, that Clearview's offense, if all of your hits are coming from your 7-hitter, it's just been an off night for everybody else. There's a strike. GCIT 7 runs, taking advantage of Clearview's 4 errors in the field. But they haven't been too active on the offensive side either. Only 6 hits. That's going to be hit number 3 and the first from a man not named number 6 as that ball gets trapped in the infield. It just died in center field. I think it hit either a player's glove or a piece of their personnel. Well, I know it hit the pitcher in the foot, but as soon as it got past the infield dirt, it ended up being it just kind of stopped in center field. I mean, the grass is well cut here, just it had no momentum really. I saw Nick Core talking to the home plate umpire. I believe we have a pinch hitter here for Zwan after the base hit by Munzenberger. First pitch from Valet. Inside. Can't tell if that's 21 or 24, because if it's 21, Zwan is still in the game. Just the exposure on the camera is a little off. You said 24? Yeah, that is 24. Oh, Nick Core, I just wanted to make sure I got it right. So that is a pinch hitter for Connor Zwan. That is, oh no, I'm sorry. So Andrew Prun was number 21. Connor Zwan is number 24. So there was no pinch hitter. Just the way it looked with Core coming out of the dugout, it looked like he was making a change. Although the change was that Munzenberger is not running at first. That is number 17, Gio Marinucci. So that was the change. My apologies for the error. I didn't realize, and with the camera exposure being how it is because of the sun, it's hard to see the numbers, not just from the outfield, but also when the camera zoomed in for the green and gold jerseys. Ground ball by Zwan, foul. And it's 3-2. So Marinucci running at first here for Munzenberger, and Clearview has a runner on, and they've put plenty of them on base. They just haven't strung enough together to get some runs on the board. Here's the pitch. Inside, that's ball 4. A little bit of an enthusiastic backflip there from Zwan, and we turn the lineup back over to the top for DeSimone. But that's been the main force of Clearview's offense, is that they did not have any walks for the first 2 innings, but they had 1 hit by pitch, and that was it. And since the third, they got 2 walks in the third, 2 walks in the fourth, another in the fifth, and now another in the sixth. So that's a grand total of 6 walks in 3 innings. And GCIT, whoa, that one's inside, just has had a lot of issues with control, but, you know, dare I say they've gotten a little lucky with the timing that it was at. You know, they've gotten the right guy to ground out at the wrong time. I mean, you can see there. 2-1 now. And you're facing a lefty here, so you've just got to throw it down the pipe, and at this point, you're up by 6. Just hope nothing leaves the yard. Strike on the outside corner, 2-2. As we said, big spot, you know. 6 walks in 3 innings, but it doesn't matter how many walks you allow if you don't allow any runs, because that's what matters at the end of the day. We'll see what he can do. Valet delivers. Outside, 3-2. If the inning were to continue, you would have Tyler Dell, who's been a force really all season. And you could have it with the bases loaded if he misses here. Here's the 3-2. No, he steps off. Runner goes. There's a ground ball out to short. What do we talk about? Good timing. Throw across is scooped, and it hits the first baseman in the face. That's going to bring a run home, but a spear at first base, and he is down. A nasty hit at first on a spiked throw. And unfortunately, it got Andrew Valet right in the face. No protection over there at first. The throw was a little low. It took a bad hop off the dirt, and it got him straight in the face. Clearview scored a run on the single by the leadoff man DeSimone. It is now 7-2, and it runners on the corners with 2 outs. But an unfortunate situation here, as Valet being checked out by GCIT head coach Rob Eppolite. So Zwan will be on third. While we have a moment and while Valet is being attended to, it looks like he's going to stay in the game. Yeah, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that instant replay right there on that. Runner goes. There's a ground ball out to short. What do we talk about? Good timing. Throw across is scooped, and it hits the first baseman in the face. That's going to bring a run. So there's your DWB instant replay. Tough situation for all involved, but it looks like Valet will stay in the game. But his brother will not. Alex Valet is out, and after the injury timeout, we will have a pitching change. So we'll take a quick break. 7-2, GCIT in a little bit of trouble now with 2 runners on and 2 outs. right, bottom of the 6th inning. And a new pitcher for GCIT. The third pitcher and the first, not a Valet brother, Chase Cohen. The new pitcher for GCIT with 2 on, 2 out. A run across for Clearview as they go straight into the meat of the order with Tyler Dell. Runners on the corners here, and the first pitch outside, 1-0. Well, talk about a good way to get Clearview riled up. You know, you had a little bit of time to cool down after, unfortunately, Valet got hurt at first. But now you've got 2 runners on, you got to run across, and you're just 1 swing away from the game being right back in reach. That's 2-0. Chase Cohen, a sophomore, making his in his high school rookie season. He appeared for 1 inning in the 19-1 win for GCIT over Pennsville. Has a 7 ERA with 1 run in 1 inning. Here's the pitch. Outside. Oh, called a strike. Whew. I think it's a good thing I'm not behind home plate. And that could be a crucial call that could swing the momentum of this inning, even if it doesn't end the at-bat. Puts you in a different situation, a different set of shoes. Here's the pitch. Jammed and foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Tyler Dell. 0 for 2 today with a strikeout looking, a fly out to right, and a walk. Clearview down 7-2 here in the 6th. They've pushed across their 2nd run of the entire game, and Cohen looks to shut down the rally. Outside, 3-2. And if the bases remain loaded after this at-bat, it's going to be the DH Wolf. And if you're going to have your number 3 hitter and your DH batting with the bases loaded in a big spot, that's what I would want to get Clearview back into this game. Outside, ball 4, bases loaded. Never say never, right? GCIT looked like they were going to run away with this one. It looked like it could have even been a mercy rule in the 5th. Clearview shut them down. It wasn't a pretty shutdown, but they got it done. They didn't allow any runs. It certainly wasn't majestic, but now a righty versus lefty. Chris Wolf, the DH, rips in a first pitch strike. Wolf popped up first base side, and Valet goes for it. He slides, it hits off of the fence, and he almost slid right into the fence. And it's 0-2. Here we go again. Wolf 0 for 2, a strikeout, a fly out, and a walk. The senior outfielder, bases loaded. Batting 4 for 6 in the young campaign. The pitch, strike 3, inside corner. And for the 2nd time tonight, GCIT gets out of a bases loaded jam. Wolf strikes out looking on a fastball inside. And for the Gloucester Tech Cheetahs, they have a sigh of relief again. Clearview leaves them loaded. It's 7-2 after 6. We're back in the 7th, just in time for now a 5-run lead for GCIT, as Noah Seri out for his 3rd inning of work. GCIT hasn't scored since the 4th. They put up 1 run in the 2nd. They put up 2 in the 3rd. They were up 3-1, and then they put up 4 in the 4th. Looked like this game was gonna, kind of run away, and we were gonna be out of here early, but we will play the full 7 tonight, as that one misses. So GCIT has been held at bay, so don't let the scoreboard fool you. Clearview's been chipping away, but unfortunately for them, though, for the 2nd time tonight, they left the bases loaded. They brought 7 men to the plate in the 6th, only scored 1. And here's the pitch from Sari. Swing, miss. 2-2 now. For GCIT, it'll be 6, 7, and 8. Lowry, Sheets, and Nick Miller. Tapped foul. Two. Curveball skips off the mask of the catcher Munzenberger. It's 3-2. High chopper over the infield, stopped by Dell. Throw on the run, he got him. Nice play. That looks like a mundane play on paper, but that is a dynamic ranging play by the shortstop Dell. He got the throw down, and he did what he needed to do on the run. That's not an easy play. I mean, it'll just go in the scorebook as a 6-3. Maybe if you add an exclamation point to it, maybe it'll add a little more pizzazz, but that's an impressive play by Dell. Another ground ball on the first pitch to third. Another running throw, and he got him. 2 quick outs here. And obviously Clearview really wishes that they had a mulligan and wish they had this kind of dynamic infield range earlier in the game when they were committing errors in the infield, but now their shortstop and their third baseman have made amends, Zwan and Dell, for their prior errors, now by making nice plays. Here's Nick Miller. The right fielder has reached base all 3 times in 3 vastly different ways. An E6, a walk, and a single. And Vinny Rosas, the center fielder and the 9-hole hitter, would be on deck if the inning were to continue. But as we said, GCIT has really taken advantage of walks and errors. They only have 6 hits on the game. They're at 7 runs on 6 hits, thanks to Clearview's 4 errors. 2 in the outfield, 2 in the infield, to make that not hit number 7, but instead almost error number 5, and it will be error number 5. A pile up over at first base. I didn't know tackling was allowed in baseball, but that's going to be a 2-out knock for Nick Miller, although that could very well be scored in E4 depending on what you do there. And Rob Eppolite coming out to talk to the home plate umpire. Here is Vinny Rosas. You're watching coverage of Tri-County Royal Baseball right here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. If you have any questions or comments about today's game, drop me a line at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. All of our social media, including our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and more, are available in the description of this video, along with our Venmo. We're a small business running out of South Jersey. I'm an 18-year-old high school senior at Audubon, and I run this independently, without any funding from a public or private school. So we get our funding from small business commercials and loyal viewers like you. So we appreciate the support. And we always strive to do the best for South Jersey athletics. That one misses outside to Rosas after the base hit by Nick Miller. They finally evened it up. 7 runs, 7 hits. They've got a good amount of folks on base tonight. Here's a ground ball out to Swan, picks it up on a hop. And again, making up for that earlier error. He's been quite nice at the hot corner tonight. Clearview with their last chance. They trail 7-2 in the bottom of the 7th. Down to the final stand, Clearview 2, GCIT 7, here in a Tri-County Royal matchup here on DWB. A beautiful Tuesday afternoon. It was a little toasty when we got here this afternoon, about a 78-degree first pitch, but it's cooled down a little bit. The sun is gone behind some clouds, and we have right now a beautiful April day. There's a strike to start the inning for Braden Reeder, followed by the freshman Dom Abate. Reeder to third, picked up by Murphy. Throw across is scooped and in time. 1 away. Reeder and Abate were the only 2 batters to not grab a bat in the 6th. As we said, GCIT put up 1 run in the 2nd thanks to an RBI double by Andrew Valet. They got 2 runs in the 3rd, 4 in the 4th. It looked like the game was going to run out of control, but they've been held scoreless ever since. They've put a fair number of runners on base, but they just haven't strung anything together. Clearview, on the other hand, their X factor in the offense has been Pat Jurgen. He had an RBI triple in the bottom of the 2nd inning to give Clearview their only run until the 6th. That was when a ground ball, an ill-fated ground ball in the infield, speared the face of Valet. He was down, and that allowed a run to score. And that's what made it 7-2, and that's where we are. I mean, in all fairness, you know, you see a 7-1 game in the 4th inning, and you say, okay, this game's going to just continue to get exponential, and Clearview's just not going to have an answer. But really, even though it's unlikely that Clearview comes all the way back in this game, as look at this. This is going to be a nice walk and a nice jog down the first base for Dom Abate, the freshman outfielder. Here is Ryan Batista now. The lefty squaring up against Chase Cohen, excuse me, for GCIT. If Clearview falls in this one, they'll fall to 0-3 under the leadership of Nick Core. They play Washington Township tomorrow on the road, followed by 3 straight home games versus Kingsway, Deptford, and I believe the other one is, I can't remember off the top of my head, my apologies. Had to pull up NJ.com for a second there. Kingsway, Deptford, and then they'll be followed up to start the next week with a home game versus Williamstown. And they'll actually be traveling pretty far on Tuesday the 16th to Lower Cape May. I wish I could be in Cape May right now, but got to cover baseball here in South Jersey. 2 balls, no strikes to Ryan Batista. High and away, 3-0. And as far as I can tell, no action yet in the GCIT pen. They're going to let this play out for a little while. But kudos to Clearview. I mean, they may be down by 5, but the scoreboard does not show the grit and the heart that this team has. That one's high and away, and a 4-pitch walk, back-to-back for Chase Cohen. And that brings up Pat Jurgen. Jurgen 2 for 3 tonight. So the infield will meet. Nothing yet from Coach Eppolite, but it looks like they're getting somebody out of the dugout, a pitcher and a catcher, and they'll warm somebody up as an emergency solution here. But the scoreboard does not show how much heart Clearview has had. You know, they're a great team with some great chemistry. It's just the fact that you're playing in one of the toughest divisions in South Jersey. They opened up the season versus Gloucester Catholic, you know, just a nationally ranked baseball team. You know, nothing serious there in your first game as a head coach. And then you play RV, you put up 8 versus them, but they put up 13, and that's what's going to make or break your time. Well, now the infield is meeting again. It looks like they broke up and then they got back together. Almost like the Jonas Brothers, so they're back out there again. That is a very pandering joke. I am not very well versed in the Jonas Brothers history, but... So wow, that was a quick warm-up. They stalled a little bit. He threw like 5 pitches behind the dugout, and in an 11th hour move, they are taking Chase Cohen out of the game, and we are going to have a pitching change here in the bottom of the 7th. Don't count Clearview out yet. One swing of the bat can make this a 2-run game. These guys are ready to make it work. Now pitching for GCIT is going to be number 13. That is Nick Miller. So he moves from right field to the mound, and we've got an impromptu pitching change here on DWB. We'll be right back after this. 7-2 GCIT. Clearview putting GCIT in a bit of a pickle here. There's 2 runners on. There's 1 out. Reeder grounded out to third to start the inning. But back-to-back walks have brought Jurgen to the plate. Facing the righty, Nick Miller, moving from right field to the mound. He delivers the first pitch strike. And as we were talking about over the break, this is probably just a tourniquet situation here where you thought you were going to get out of the inning easily and the game would be over, but you realized that he was just not throwing any strikes. He had a 4-pitch walk, and he put 2 runners on. You had to bring somebody in right away. No time for ifs, ands, or buts. And it's 0-2 quickly to Jurgen. 2 for 3 tonight. A single, a double, and a strikeout. Pokes it foul. Assuming there's no double play to end the game, number 8 hitter Munzenberger will be next for Clearview. Here we go. inside. A good take there. He looked like he was going to go for it, but he held off, and good thing he did. Fouled back. Some out-of-town scores, 4-4. Cherokee and Shawnee are tied up going to the 7th inning. Woodstown leads Clayton 10-3 in the 7th. And actually, I'm sorry, Cherokee just now scored a couple minutes ago. They lead 5-4 going to the bottom of the 7th. Down. 2-2. It's so hard to just tell a pitcher to hit his marks. You only need one to get out of this at bat versus the guy that's lit up GCIT pitching the most all game. It's hard to just tell him throw strikes because that one goes to the backstop. Both runners are going to advance, and Clearview has 2 runners in scoring position here. And this is what I said before. Even if Clearview goes 0-3, even if they fall tonight, they will still look back at this game and say, hey, you gave it all you had, and you gave up a fight. Versus a team that took down guys like Kingsway and Gloucester Catholic last year under the leadership of Eppolite. You know, they had an incredible run last year, and they're looking to continue that this year. That is a strike, and that is strike 3. 2 down. A big strikeout for the righty, Miller. Jurgen strikes out for the 2nd time in as many innings. He's 2 for 4 now. And here's Munzenberger. Had a single back in the 6th. He got that RBI, the 2nd one for Clearview. That one's inside, but called a strike, 0-1. Working fast, the pitch from 13. Another strike, 0-2, and the Pioneers are down to their last call. They've got 2 runners in scoring position. GCIT would improve to 2-0. Clearview, under the leadership of Nick Core, would fall to 0-3. Trying to chip into this deficit at the 11th hour. The 0-2, line drive, right center field, and that will drop. 1 run will score, holding at third with a conservative approach. That's an RBI single for Munzenberger. He's got 2 RBIs at 7-3. Abate scores, and Batista wisely holds up at third, and it's a 4-run game. So they were down to 2 strikes and 2 outs. A clutch base hit brings Clearview a little bit closer to the spotlight again. It's 7-3. Here's the first pitch to the number 9 hole hitter, Zwan. I think Clearview wishes that they had the middle of the order, but guess what? Most of the offensive production tonight has been from the middle of the order or the bottom of the order. I mean, everybody's had some sort of contribution of getting on base, but Clearview's main X factor has been those 7, 8, and 9 hitters, Munzenberger and Jurgen. They've driven in all 3 of the runs. The throw goes behind the runner, a dangerous play, and the throw got bobbled at first by Valet. But luckily for the Cheetahs, no harm, no foul, and they do not allow a run on that error, and nobody moved. 2 balls, no strikes to the 9-hole hitter, Zwan. He has reached base on 2 walks. Only ball hit in the play was a ground out. Poked foul, 2-1. Don't forget our next broadcast will be a Colonial Tilt for 2 days in a row, actually. Wednesday the 10th will be Haddon Township and Haddonfield. That was your DWB fan vote game. And Thursday the 11th will be Haddon Heights and Audubon from Audubon with a 3:45 start. Friday will be Ocean County and Camden County in JUCO baseball. And Saturday will be Lenape and Cherokee at 11 a.m. for Olympic Conference baseball. 3 balls, 1 strike. GCIT just, they are so close. But what do we always say? The last out is always the most difficult one to get, even in the bottom of the order. Swan pops it up. This could do it. It's going to stay in the infield. The wind carries it, but Valet brings it down, and that's the ball game. Clearview gave him a shot at the last moment, but GCIT pulls it out, and they improve to 2-0 with a 7-3 win over the Pioneers. They had 2 runners on, they had a shot, and Alex Munzenberger, who had 2 of those RBIs, just wasn't able to carry the team enough to a victory. Clearview falls to 0-3 after that loss there. They now play Washington Township on the road, not too far down the road, tomorrow for a 4 o'clock start. Again, our next broadcast will be tomorrow at 4 o'clock for a colonial matchup between Haddon Township and Haddonfield. We'll have to mull over this player of the game. We will not have a Harper Driving School interview, but you got to imagine player of the game is probably going to be Andrew Valet. He shut him down for a good 4 innings, had 4 strikeouts, only allowed that 1 earned run, but also had the contribution at the plate with an RBI double and reached base on a fielder's choice in the 4th. So he reached base 2 out of 4 times, got himself an RBI. I mean, look, you know, the entire GCIT offense had a say in this game, and that's what made it important. And that's what makes it a team win for GCIT, is that, you know, it's not like one of your guys is driving in 5 RBIs and going 4 for 4. Nobody got on base every single time. There were some guys that went 0 for 4. There's some guys that went 2 for 4. There's some guys who had a little bit of everything and a little bit of in between. So GCIT was able to pull this one out, and they got themselves a good win in that sense. But Clearview's shining moment was that 2 RBIs from Alex Munzenberger, but unfortunately, those 4 errors really did not help them in any way. You know, the last 2 that they had later on in the game, they, luckily for them, didn't result in much. I think that GCIT very easily could have put up double digits if those errors had just been a little bit further off, you know, or if they had been a little bit differently placed in the 3rd or 4th inning. You know, GCIT was starting to run away with it. Clearview applied the tourniquet. They got out of it, and even though they had a 4-run 4th inning, they didn't score in the 5th, 6th, or 7th, and that opened the door for Clearview to come back. It just wasn't meant to be. Like we said, folks, our next broadcast will be Haddon Township versus Haddonfield at 4 o'clock tomorrow over at the Russ Spicer Diamond. And, of course, on Thursday, we've got Haddon Heights and Audubon in another colonial matchup. From everybody here at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, our social media coordinator, Anthony DePalma, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel, Caleb Lane, and Liam Nolan, my wonderful producer, Vincent Folks, I'm Dan Wilkins. Have a good one, folks. GCIT 7, Clearview.